And so he's exposed for photoshopping his photos. And so do you think somebody that's willing to lie about how they look is perhaps willing to lie and say they're natural when they're not? Coach Greg, and this has to stop. I'm sick and tired of people in their early 20s saying, oh, I have low T, I need HRT, oh, poor me. All while looking like Greek gods with single-digit body fat and tons of muscle. Yeah, okay, you're natural. You just have crushed testosterone like that of a woman, and you built an amazing physique. How is that possible? Well, I'm going to tell you how. PDs, SARMs, steroids, you know. And so he posts his blood work and goes over it and says, oh my God, my testosterone levels are crashed. But I'm natural. This proves I'm natural, right? Remember Isaiah Miranda? Still to this day, swears guy's natural. 100%, of course. And what do they seem to have in common? They all go and seek the advice and approval of Bradley Martin. Is this a coincidence? Why is everyone going to Bradley Martin with their blood work saying, what should I do? And so we're going to watch the video and I'm going to explain all the questions he asks and hopefully you understand. And no, you don't need to go to the dark side. When you can develop a physique like you have, you don't have some genetic condition where you need HRT. At 22 years of age. Exposing fake natties. What an interesting title. And so let's watch a bit of this video.
One person in the fitness industry you think is on steroid?
I mean, I hate to say it, but...
Oh, I hate to say it, but you! And the guy answers, C-bum. He's not a fake natty. He openly admits he's taking PEDs. And so his video is called, Am I Joining the Dark Side? 22 years of age, looks amazing, does not need steroids or HRT.
So the two last natties about to become the not natties.
The two last natties about to be not natty. I mean, what is going on with this world? I know the pressure to look amazing is strong, that you have to look great, and that the leaner you are and the more muscle you have, the better the thumbnails look, and the more you get shown to people. But enough is enough. And so he's talking to Bradley Martin, and if I'm in the 400s nanograms per deciliter, then, well, probably gonna have to take HRT because, you know, I can't build muscle at that level. I mean, it's horrible. Look, I'm only 22. I should have higher than that. No, this is ridiculous.
Dude, I swear to God, people are gonna see this video and be like, he crashed his test. Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna watch the video and think, yeah, another Isaiah Miranda. What is going on? Does everyone think that just because you go on a diet that you have low body fat levels, that you automatically crush your testosterone to that of a female? Of course not. And so Bradley Martin, positive he couldn't have ever taken anything because he's spoken to him a few times. You know, friends tell their friends everything, right? I know friends who sleep with their friends' girlfriends behind their back. You really think everyone's just sharing everything they're doing? Oh yeah, Bradley, I take SARMs, you know, because I'm going to tell you everything about my life.
I was shook. Like, I was tight. I was like, how? Like, that's lower than my dad. He's 56 years old.
Wonder why? What could possibly cause your testosterone levels to suddenly crash down? Could it be you took SARM steroids? No, has to be that, oh, I'm stressed out, didn't get enough sleep, and I'm on a low-calorie diet. And so what I'm seeing is a trend. Everyone who has low testosterone levels with an incredible physique is saying, it's the stress and I don't sleep. Really? And so he's saying he has low testosterone levels, and Bradley's saying, well, you can get it back up. You can do it naturally. Yeah, but I'd have to bulk up. I'd have to eat more calories. So it seems to be a trend. Everyone wants to have single-digit body fat, despite the fact it's not healthy, and they're doing so for social media. And so the trend is you over-diet, crash diet, get shredded, have an amazing physique, go to the doctor, get tested, and then get HRT. And listen, going on a diet, a crash diet, can in fact lower your testosterone levels, but not usually to this extent. And if it does, the solution is to eat more. It's not to take drugs to combat the fact that you're not sleeping enough and that you're overtraining and undereating. It's to fix the root of the problem.
I was shook. I was like, what do you mean 215?
He was like, I'm surprised you could hold that much muscle with that. And I was like, me too.
And so his testosterone levels, 215 nanograms per deciliter. Very low, lower than what it should be. In fact, only about 1% of males would have testosterone levels that are that low. Does this look like a guy who's suddenly had crushed testosterone levels? Listen to this. If you have a genetic condition or you have testosterone levels that are severely diminished, can you maintain such an amazing, impressive physique? Have you seen this guy's physique? Does it look like he has the testosterone levels of a girl? Does he? And so if he suddenly crushed his testosterone levels, would it not stand to reason that his physique would take a turn to the worst? But no, it just keeps getting better. Looks better, all while crushing his testosterone levels. Does that make sense? We're not talking about 50 or 100 points down. We're talking about a guy who used to be in the 600s and is now 250.
Well, I don't know if this can prove that I'm natural. I'm hoping that it can. Basically, I think it is 4 different blood tests.
And enough with thinking you can prove you're natural by a simple blood work test. You can't. All blood work can do is show you at the time of the test what is going on. Doesn't say what you did 3 months ago. You could quite literally be blasting SARM steroids, stop, take the test a couple months later, and get exactly these results. And so it doesn't prove jack cookbook.
This is pretty serious. And like I have a big decision that I need to make.
And so no, you don't have a big decision to make. Don't do HRT. You're 22. You look amazing. You don't need to do anything. Don't take any PEDs. Get enough sleep, eat properly, don't overtrain. You're fine.
And I hope this proves that I'm natural because my testosterone has never been high, but I've been able to build a pretty decent physique regardless of that.
His testosterone levels from 2 years ago, 100% normal. If anything, high normal. Not low, at least moderate to above average. And listen, just because someone has higher than average testosterone levels doesn't mean they're going to build more muscle than someone who has lower than average. It's how the body responds to the testosterone that you're using. Just because you have 650 nanograms per deciliter doesn't mean the body's going to build more muscle than if you have 450. Some people have high test levels, can't build a lot of muscle. Others have lower testosterone, build tons of muscle. Case in point, Jeff Nippard had much lower testosterone levels than this guy. Have you seen Jeff's physique? The guy was competing national championships, winning bodybuilding shows, shredded, strong, winning powerlifting. Never had high testosterone levels. Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
It's not how high your testosterone levels. It's how much of that test can your body actually use. The free or bioavailable testosterone. And so people need to stop basing their ability to build muscle on a freaking number.
My cholesterol is lower more recently. I think it's probably just due to me having a lot lower fat diet.
Or your HDL, which is the good cholesterol, is lower from taking SARMs and or steroids. When you take SARMs, steroids, even HRT, HDL, that is the first thing to go down. And so if your HDL suddenly went down, it is quite possible it's from taking PEDs. And so his first test dating back to about 2 years ago, 461 nanograms per deciliter. Higher than Jeff Nippard's. But oh, it's so low. How could I ever build muscle? It's right in the middle of normal. Right in the middle. And so stop complaining. Look at your physique. If it was low, how on earth could you have built the physique that you built? And so he retook the test 5 months later. Lo and behold, his testosterone went to 650. Free test, the one that really matters, 15. Right in the middle. Normal. Just like you want it to be. And his LH, luteinizing hormone, what produces testosterone, sperm, and so on, right at the top end of normal. Everything normal. And so this is foreshadowing. Normal LH, 650 nanograms per deciliter test, and bioavailable free test, 15, perfectly normal. Not low for being 22, normal or slightly above average.
For that age, 655 is still like low-key kind of low.
No, it's not even remotely low-key kind of low. Not even slightly kind of ish low. It'd be like saying for a man, 5'10", kind of short. No, 5'9" average height for a man in North America. If you're 5'10", it's not lowish kind of short. On the Canadian chart for the Canadians out there, that's 22.5. Think of it. When I got prescribed testosterone, my endocrinologist never wanted that high. Said, oh, that's kind of high. And no, oh, I'm low, 22. You really think 22-year-olds have crazy testosterone, 1,000 plus, everyone? Of course not. You are overestimating just how high testosterone levels are between the age of 20 and 40. There is almost no difference.
You can just see the difference from how much it changed from being like, you know, on more of a diet to a little bit eating a little bit more.
And so he credits this rise in testosterone from eating more, getting in the nutrients, the calories that he needs. Very, very plausible. Definitely, that could explain it in detail. 400, normal. 461, normal. 650, also normal. In either case, testosterone levels can vary based on the time of the day you test, when you took it, and so on. And so, if it's 450 or 650, both 100% normal, do not require HRT. And then he said he went for another test in October, 550. So as you can see, depending on his diet, the time of the day of the test and so on, it ranges somewhere between 450, 550, 650, somewhere in that range. All 100% normal. But what about this time?
So my cholesterol, they said, was a little on the low end. It was out of the reference range. It was 109.
And so I'm pressing pause on some of the results, which he doesn't mention. And what I notice is his bun/creatinine, that is high. And what is that a measure of? Kidney function. Is it possible he took PDs, affected his kidneys? Maybe. Or could be because he's dehydrated and so on. But it is high, and we don't want that to be high. And so he probably should drink more water, get dehydrated, make sure he's not taking PDs, and go get the test done. But notice he glances over that, doesn't discuss the fact that his bun-creatinine score is high, and his cholesterol a little on the low side. Well, frankly, LDL or bad cholesterol, having a low amount of that is good. HDL, the good cholesterol, you want that to be higher. And so it's possible he's not eating enough healthy fats, but it's also possible that he perhaps took PDs. SARMs or steroids would in fact cause HDL to go down. But overall, his ratio from LDL to HDL, it's actually quite good, quite healthy. He just needs to raise that HDL. And so we don't know this. I don't know if he took PDs or not. But if he did in fact take PDs and he stops for long enough time, the HDL, it should go up. That would cause him to be more healthy. Next up, which he doesn't discuss, but you can see in the video, CRP, C-reactive protein. Oh, let's just not talk about that. What are his results? 5.1. Under 1, great. Low risk of cardiovascular disease, low level inflammation. 1 and 3, moderate risk. Over 3, high risk. Over 5, very high risk. But let's pretend that didn't happen. And so I'm not a freaking doctor, but if I had a level with 5.1, it's highlighted in red, warning, high, I would be asking the doctor, what are we going to do about this? What is going on? Perhaps he's not on PDs. Perhaps he's 100% natural. What is going on then? Why is his C-reactive protein sky high?
I don't know if this even proves that I'm natty to you guys. I thought it would because it shows a consistent level of me having like low T. It's never spiked above like 1,000 or anything.
And so unfortunately, no. People think that if you have moderate to low testosterone, of which he never had, he had moderate, then moderately high, and now very, very low for some reason which we don't know. Perhaps PDs, or perhaps he has some kind of tumor growing on his pituitary. I don't know. But you cannot prove that you're natural by having normal testosterone levels. Case in point, Coach Greg. I'm on HRT, literally, and my testosterone is in the normal range. I could be blasting 100 milligrams of Anavar a day, taking growth hormone MK677, Rad140, Ostrine, all the SARM steroids in the world, and have normal testosterone from taking HRT. And so you could quite literally take 50 milligrams of test a week, have low normal testosterone levels, blast 100 milligrams of Anavar consistently every single day throughout the year, and always have low to normal testosterone levels. Oh, and that proves I'm natural. See, because my testosterone levels, they're not through the roof. All it does is prove that you're not blasting a lot of tests. When the doctor measures for testosterone, they're checking how much testosterone do you have. They're not checking for Anavar, Ostrine, Rad140. And so you can quite literally be blasting a ton of gear with a little bit of testosterone and have low to normal testosterone levels year round. Or you plan out the test, say, I'm going to do a cycle of 3 months. I'll stop taking tests for a couple weeks, go in, low testosterone levels. All you need is enough time for the testosterone levels that you were injecting to clear out, and you're going to have low to normal testosterone levels. And if you're doing test suspension, it would take a couple days to crash your testosterone levels. Test probe, couple weeks. Test identity, month or 2. And so just because you're getting a test a couple times a year does not prove you're friggin' natural.
But here I saw my LH levels and this one was 2.6. I think the last time it was 8.1.
And so luteinizing hormone, LH, as he discussed, can produce sperm testosterone. It used to be about 8. It suddenly crushed down to about 2. If you take a SARM, for example, Rad140, Anavar, that's exactly what's going to happen. Your balls, they stop working and say, I'm going on vacation. Look at all this Anavar coming in. I don't need to produce tests. And so you go from, say, 650 nanograms per deciliter to 215 because you're taking steroids, SARMs, and so on exogenously. Takes a while to get back. That's why people do a PCT. After a cycle, your body's naturally going to start coming back to normal. LH could be crashed perhaps under 1. Over time, slowly goes back to normal. And so if you did a cycle and stopped, your LH would go from 8, perhaps down to 1, and then on the way back up, it starts recovering. Perhaps you did a cycle, your testosterone at one point went to 21 nanograms per deciliter. Wow, wonder who ever had that low. And then, a month later, it starts to go back to normal, perhaps 215. LH perhaps goes up to 2.5. Is that what happened? Don't know. How would I know? Just tell you what's possible. And so is total and free testosterone below the normal reference range? Perhaps 1 in 100 people would be this low. Does he look like a guy that has testosterone levels lower than 99% of the population? Perhaps if he were absolutely starving himself, were anorexic, had 5% body fat, lost 50 pounds of muscle, weighed 120 pounds, perhaps he would have these kind of levels. That would make sense. But does it make sense to have single-digit body fat while looking amazing, 5'10", 175 pounds of rock-hard muscle, all while having severely crushed testosterone levels? Something fishy going on. Something a little sus. You don't suddenly go from 650 nanograms per deciliter to 215, all because, well, I didn't get enough sleep. I ate a little bit less. I did a little cut, a mini cut. Does it look like he starved himself? Does he look like he's on a 1,000 calorie diet? I don't think so. And so what do you think is more likely? That perhaps he's not getting to bed on time, he's a little bit stressed out, in a calorie deficit? Or that he may have used SARMs. And oh, poor guy, 22 years of age, 300,000+ followers, looks like a Greek god. My life is so stressful. You know, I have to make videos, content, making hundreds of thousands of dollars. It's such a hard life. I'm so stressed out. Does he have a family? Perhaps he's raising twins. He's up all night, has to work overtime to support the family. It's so stressful. Mental health is deteriorating, suffering from so much going on. And so if this is a stressful life, well, I want it, don't you? 22 years of age, looking like this, does that seem like a hard life to you? And so he talked to some IFBB pro bodybuilders to try to explain why his testosterone levels are suddenly crashed. Stress, cortisol levels, making content for YouTube, been really busy, it's a toxic industry. Did they mention the part about, did you take steroids and stop? Are you shut down because perhaps you did a cycle? No one even mentions that. Is it even slightly possible that maybe he took some SARM, perhaps Anavar, maybe a little bit?
That's bad. My dad got his stuff checked and he was at like 350 one test and he's 56 years old. Mine should not be that low no matter how much stress or whatever I'm going through.
Exactly. No matter how much stress, no matter what he's going through, his testosterone levels should not be that low. He said it himself. Yeah, stress, dieting, not enough sleep, all that can lower your testosterone levels. But not by that much. Look at this guy. Does he look like his physique has suffered? If you go from 650 down to 250 nanograms per deciliter, trust me, your physique is going to suffer. And did it? He's been making YouTube videos for months, looking absolutely outstanding. And so, why do you think his test is suddenly crashed? I'm asking you, why do you think it?
Low libido, having bad sleep. I've had really bad mental clarity at times. I'm all over the place mentally. I literally cannot dial in on one thing at all because I'm just so focused on doing all these different things at once.
And so it's strange because every single thing he described is exactly how I feel when I cycled off PEDs. Done many cycles in my past. When I was on steroids, felt amazing. When off them, wasn't so good. Lower sex drive, mental clarity not there, not feeling as good, get more tired. He has very low testosterone levels. When you see low testosterone levels like this, doctor very well could prescribe HRT. If I was his doctor, I would say, come back in a couple months, let's test you again, see if you can get back to normal. In the meantime, make sure you get plenty of sleep, drink plenty of water, relax, eat enough, don't over diet, get your body fat to a healthy range, and come back and we'll see how you're making out. Would not jump to saying you need HRT. And so despite the fact that his testosterone levels are low enough to prescribe HRT, I don't think that he needs it. To me, much more likely that he has in fact done a cycle in the past, stopped, and that's why he's experiencing these results, then it suddenly happened out of nowhere. Because if it did, well, we best be finding out the cause of this problem. It is not normal. We need to do more testing.
A lot of you guys look up to me for being natural, right? You see me as a physique that you guys can attain.
And so people look up to him because he's natural. Physique look like this natural. And he's been putting on more size. He's now up to 175 pounds. Does it make sense that he could do this with testosterone levels in the shitter? Does that make sense? While being natural. And so you respect him, you love him, you're following him, all because he's natural. He looks like this natural. And so what if he wasn't natural? Do you think there's a little bit of pressure for him to possibly dabble a little bit into SARMs or steroids? To perhaps improve his physique, get a little bit leaner, a little bit more muscular, improve those thumbnails to get you clicking? And so what do you think is more likely? Suddenly he developed a tumor, something's going on? Or perhaps he may have taken PDs. I don't know the answer, but I know that if I was him, I would be concerned.
My income is based off of how I look, because the better I look, the better reach that I have.
And so there's a lot of pressure in the fitness industry. His income is based on how he looks, but he would never touch PDE. Really? How do you know what you would do? You're thinking, oh, I wouldn't either. If you know you could add a 0 to your income, if you took SARMs or steroids and looked a little bit better, would you do it? Right now you're thinking, no, I would never do it. When I was his age, I said, I will never take PDs. Never touch them. 100% natural for life. What happened to me? Did I eventually take them? You bet I did. And so I know the pressure. I know the industry better than almost anyone. And I'm telling you, the pressure for this kid to take PDs is enormous. And the pressure to not tell anyone, including Bradley Martin, who thinks he's going to tell him everything. Telling you, very strong pressure to keep it secret because there's a financial incentive, there's pressure, peer pressure to not say a word. Has it hurt Michael Hearn? Millions of followers. Think he makes a good living? And so there's a lot of peer pressure for him to be a role model, an example. Show us what you can do natural. He's saying there's a lot of pressure. He's talking about it. He's expressing this in his video. And if he is in fact natural and this has caused him to feel this way, then should he not decide it's not worth it? My health is more important than this. And so what I don't want to see is other young people watching this and thinking, I need to diet, I need single-digit body fat, I need to look like a Gymshark model. And to do that, I'm going to have to starve myself, get to single-digit body fat, get stressed out. And what's the solution? Steroids. Very sad, and I do not want people in the industry to believe that this is the solution. And so he says, I posted a picture, my abs weren't as tight, and they're like, hey, well, you got to work on your abs. Oh, I don't care. It doesn't affect me. Clearly, it's affecting him. Clearly. Are you kidding me?
But it still plays with your subconscious mind. You're like, oh shit, like maybe I did gain a little bit of fat.
I mean, how obvious and apparent is it that he actually does care? Of course he cares. Who doesn't care? Even Coach Greg cares, and I'm 46 years of age.
I feel like this helps show that I'm natty, because I see how bad the levels are. People can be like, oh, you probably took something before.
And so he literally knows it himself. He's saying, I hope this video proves I'm natural, but, well, people are going to say, well, you probably took something, and that's why your testosterone levels are crashed. Yeah, oftentimes the most obvious answer is, in fact, the correct one. And so think of it. He was 440 a couple of years ago. He was dieting very hard at that time. And so he'd already previously experienced what dieting does to his testosterone. It put him down to 440. Then he ate more, got to 650. That's a healthy range for him. 440, that's when he crash diets, and loses too much weight. But this time, 215. Does that make sense? And so to me, Exhibit A, listen to what he's saying. Does it make more sense that he just got this level from dieting? That he didn't eat enough healthy fats? Or maybe, just maybe, he did a cycle. And so yes, a long video, but I think it was worth it. And do I know for certain that the guy's taken SARMs and or steroids? No. But if he hasn't, that almost seems even worse. If he actually had this horrible results and he's natural, then what caused all this? Get your CRP checked out and figure out what's going on. If I had test results this bad, I would be highly concerned that something horrible is going on in my body. To have testosterone levels at 215 and you're natural, when you dieted in the past and it went down to 450, and this time 215? What is going on? He hasn't lost 50 pounds. He's kept his weight constant. He looks the same. What is going on? How is all this possible? And so let me know in the comment section. Think the guy's natural? I obviously wish him the best. I hope he can get this fixed. And personally, I'm hoping he did a SARMs or steroid cycle because that would explain everything. Then he can return to normal. That's what I'm hoping, because if it wasn't caused by that, then it could be something definitely wrong with his body. Rather see him have done a cycle and that explains it than perhaps something horrible going on in his body. Ending it here. GregDoucette.com for coaching. Greg Doucette IP Pro. Please check out the Boops. Also, harder than last time supplements, natural ones, including turkesterone, creatine, you name it. You can get it. Click the link in the description. Also, the free training programs, close to 20 pages. Become a newsletter subscriber. Click the link in the description. Subscribe. Click the bell button. Comment for the algorithm. Get the Circle Diet book, the cookbooks, the coaching plans by me and my team, training books, phone consults. And until next time, I am out.